Hi guys, welcome to another video. If you're new, I'm Katie and welcome to another Bookish adventure. So, back in 2018, and saying that out loud makes it seem so very long ago, I made a video that was popular books that I hadn't read yet, and oh god, I apologise now. So I thought I would go back through that list. It was actually only 6 books, but to be fair, a lot of that video was made up for my explanation as to why I hadn't read them. And that is majoritively, they were books that I should have read in my childhood, but just weren't on my parameter. They were not in my periphery. I don't know why. And then the other reasoning is because I do enjoy to read books as a series. I don't like to read them as and when they come out because I tend to forget a lot of stuff. I prefer to read them as a whole, which can mean that, you know, for books that are ridiculously long, I have to wait a long time. I'm trying to get out of that habit, but it is just something I do prefer. I'm gonna do the original 6 books first, and then because my brain works in this way, I would like to make the list to an even number and add some books to that list because you know your girl has a lot of books she hasn't read yet. So starting us off is The Never-Ending Story. So at that point I had not read it, I had not seen the film of it, and I kind of lumped it in with books like The Secret Garden, The Princess Bride, and that sort of thing. So I have read it. I haven't seen the film, but I've read it. Didn't like it. Really wasn't for me. I was correct in my thinking. I found the kid really annoying, like so annoying. I just didn't like him, and I felt like it was building to this thing of like death or sacrifice. I don't know, it just felt like it was building to this really negative end that never happened. So it kind of felt like a bit of a Whether I'll watch the film, I really doubt. It's never appealed to me. Same with those other ones that I mentioned. It's just kind of how it is. I've seen at least The Secret Garden maybe in one sitting. I've seen it in parts. I don't know if I've seen the whole thing. But yeah, they just don't appeal to me. They never have, and I don't think they ever will. Next up, we have His Dark Materials. I can very happily say I've read this. I think in part due to the fact that BBC did the adaptation, and I really wanted to read them before I watched them because I knew how good the show was, and also I just felt like my first experience of it should have been reading it as a book, so it definitely kicked me into gear into doing it. I listened to it as an audiobook, which was narrated by Philip Pullman and had a full cast, and my god, it was so good. I definitely do want to actually read them as a physical book, but I have to say the audiobook was a treat. I really did enjoy it. The series has been adapted so well. I mean, I cried so much at the second series because I think I watched the first one and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, sunshine and rainbows, and then I watched the second one and I was like, yay, sunshine and rainbows, and then it hit me what was coming, and then I was like, oh, good feelings gone. Next up we have The Mortal Instruments / just the Shadowhunters in general. Okay, so I have read the first 3 books of The Mortal Instruments, so I pat on the back. I committed, I did it. I didn't like them, so there's that. Which I think has put me off continuing. I have decided that I am going to do those first 3, then read the prequel series, and then come back to the next 3. So kind of do them as 2 separate trilogies, as 2 separate series, sorry. Yeah, I mean, admittedly, the 3rd book in the series did get better, but I really struggled with that first book, and I really do want to carry on. I've seen and so many good things about her newest books, and that is kind of what got me to think you need to read them, because I had seen like Lady Midnight and those ones, so I knew ones coming out, and I was like, come on, you got to do this. And then I did it, and then I was like, really, this is just pure trash. Yeah, it just didn't work for me. Oh my god, I should have read them when I was a teen. That's what should have happened. Next up we have the Caraval trilogy. Still haven't read those. I'm sorry, let's face it, we're gonna get to some point in this where I hadn't read them. I have recently bought the next 2 books, so I am clearly planning on reading them soon. Just, yeah, not anytime soon. It definitely won't be this year. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know, I'm pretty sure this book may have been on my most intimidating reads, and it might just be the size of it that is what's doing it, because I just look at a big hardback and just think, oh, I don't want to do this. Next up is The Red Queen. Yeah, that's still sat on my shelf still. I do really want to read it. I do really want to read it. I think especially, yeah, now that the whole thing is out, and I keep seeing that she has a new book coming, and that book looks so beefy. My god, I don't know. The problem is it's on the very bottom of a bookshelf and I can't actually see it, and I sometimes think that if I can't see it, I don't remember it. So the final books that were on my list were A Court of Thorns and Roses and Throne of Glass. So I have read the Throne of Glass series. I did at least do that one, and my god, I enjoyed it so much. I don't know why I waited. Well, I do know why I waited. I wanted to read them all in one go, and to be fair, once I read them I was like, oh my god, I cannot cannot wait to read the next ones. I am now putting the brakes on that, apparently. The cover change is really just messing with me, and I don't know why. It's a really stupid thing, but it's just really frustrating me. I just need to get over it. I'm just an idiot, and because I have the first 3 books in the original cover, it's just so frustrating. So I'm thinking maybe because they were like a 3, I can leave those as a 3, and then the next ones, because they're set on different characters, or focus on like other ones from those books, it won't matter that they have the different cover. I don't know, I'm trying to rationalize this in my brain. I don't know how. It's such a stupid reason. And also I think I saw the newest book was so hefty, and I was like, go away. And I think again, probably why I'm hugely putting off her newest book, Crescent City, although I really want to read it because it's a more adult based book. I think, yeah, that is a reason why, because I'm like, oh come on, like, could you not start small and build us up to this? So they're the 6 books, and I'm now going to add 4 to this because, you know, I like to have things in an even number, and a proper list should be 10. So the first book I'm adding, Serpent Dove. So I think this comes down to, with a lot of books, like, it's a Sorcerer of Thorns, I think that's the one I'm thinking of, like that one, and Fable, although I have bought Fable and Namesake. With a lot of books, I think it just comes down to, I don't like reading books when there is mad hype about them. It's just not enjoyable. I want to read them in my own time. My biggest problem is I don't like to read books as soon as they come out or the year they come out. Not really. I think there's very few that I've done that with. I just don't enjoy it. I want to read it in my own time. I want to enjoy my, like, for my own opinion. I just don't want to be caught up in it. I made that mistake with Twilight, and I'm never doing it again. Next up we have is Shades of Magic. So this is a book that's been sat on my wish list for quite a long time now, and you know, my friend keeps saying to me, you really need to read them, you really need to read them. And to be fair, her sister said this to me about Six of Crows, and I freaking love that duology, so I should really listen to her sister. She loves V. Schwab. She's just an author she rates it about, so I should do it. I just haven't. I don't know why. I don't know what's put me off, because I want more magic books in my life, but there's just something, I can't pick what it is. I don't know. The next book I'm adding is The Cruel Prince, and I think not just The Cruel Prince, but I think Holly Black in general. She's just an author I need to read more of. I just don't know what this weird mental block I have with it. It doesn't, maybe it's because I'm worried I'm not gonna like her whilst everyone else loves her because she's like the queen of the fairy tales, and maybe that's why I'm like, oh god, like what if I don't love it? I read The Darkest Part of the Forest, and I really did enjoy that book. I think it's because I want to read her other one. I can't remember what it's called, but I have the bind up of it on my wish list. Oh, Modern Fairy Tales. I think it's because I want to read those first before I read this newer series, but again, you know, your girl's got to get to it. So the final book that I'm going to add is We Hunt the Flame. This book has been on there for a while, and honestly I think I just keep forgetting about it. There was a point when this book was literally flooding my Instagram, and then I kind of just stopped seeing it, and I bought it, and then I kind of just kept forgetting about it, and it's just on a bookcase that is out in the hallway, so I kind of see it a lot, but I don't know, my sort of interest in it kind of went me. I don't really know what happened with that. Obviously with her sequel coming out, it sort of popped back up again. I am really hoping that I can squeeze it in this year because I really want to, especially as you know, I wanting to read more books by black authors and authors of colour, so I am hoping that it is one that I can just slip in there. I was going to read it early in the year, and then I changed my mind and went for a murder book. I wish I hadn't done that because that book was terrible. I feel like I wasted my time. So yeah, I am hoping, yeah, I can squeeze it in at some point because I just keep seeing amazing stuff about it, and now that the sequel is here, I'm hearing amazing stuff about that. I just need to not be put off and not forget. That's the other one. So that is it for this video. I have shamed myself enough, although very happily I have at least read the majority of that list, of the original list. Well, I've read 3.5. Okay, can we say 3.5 for the Mortal Instruments, because I've started it. I may have not read it all, but I started it, whereas the others are still sat there gathering dust. My bad. So yeah, I think I like the idea of making this a yearly thing, so I can hopefully, I'd like to say by next year, like get rid of the books off the OG list, and then it can just keep adding and adding, and then maybe that will prompt me more to be like, look, you have to sit down at some point in the year and shame yourself into admitting the popular books you haven't read yet. If you want to comment below, then please tell me some popular books that you haven't read either. Have you read any of this list? Or if you have, were they not for your liking, like me in The Never Ending Story? Just, it's not for me. And same with the first 3 Mortal Instruments. I'd rather sit on a cactus than read those again. Just saying. If you enjoyed this video and you want to hit that like button, do that. And if you want to subscribe, do that too. I don't know if I will see you next week. When this video goes up, it will be my week off. I don't really have masses planned, but I've sort of put the feelers out because there's a few people who I haven't seen for like well over a year, and it would be nice to catch up with people, especially if the weather's dry, so we can be outside and go for a walk. So I don't really know what's happening with my week. And then the other issue will be editing it. So as you know, I edit on a Tuesday now because that's my day off, but the following Tuesday, once I'm back off next week, this week when you're watching this, I'm getting a tattoo that Tuesday. I don't really feel like sitting there after I've had my arm attacked for a good couple of hours. So we will see. So I'm going down the no pressure route this time round. I just need to just go with the flow. If I don't make a video, it's not the end of the world. I just need to, yeah, be less on myself about stuff, because that's a problem. So yeah, I may see you, I may not, but in the meantime, have a good day. I hope you have a good week or two, depending on if I come back or not. I'll see you soon.